It's 15 minutes after 7. Welcome to my banner on a subject that's definitely very dear to my heart. We're talking girls' education. If you'd realize, on Facebook recently, there's been a picture of a young girl who is more like writing an exams, but who has a baby on her laps and she's breastfeeding. One of the very challenges facing young girls in school today is pregnancy. I don't know what the boys say, but a lot of them get themselves pregnant and they have to deal with the challenges. We're talking all the things that girls have to go through and what parents also have to go through to put their children in school. And please join us closely, especially if you're contemplating what would the girl bring, even if I put her in school. In the end, she'll get married and then waste all the school fees. But if it's a boy, he's going to hold the name. We're breaking the issues down. And my guest, Mrs. Catherine Mikado, is Director in charge of Girls Education Units with the Ghana Education Service headquarters here in Accra. Also, Reverend Mrs. Hannah Ojin Maboche, who is Girls Education Coordinator, Lejikuku Krowo Municipality, also here in Accra. Good morning, and thank you so much for your time.
Good morning.
Yeah, Auntie Catherine, I've chased you like forever, so I'm happy that you're here today. Yeah. So first of all, let's talk about the Girls Education Units. What exactly do you do?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers. The Girls Education Unit was basically established within the Ghana Education Service under the Basic Education Unit to look at girls' issues. Our main or core job is to, one, ensure that all girls in Ghana are enrolled in our schools at the right age. And it is also our responsibility to ensure that these girls remain in school till they complete at least, I'm saying at least, basic education. We also ensure that they progress anyway. Then we also look at when they are abused, we seek support for them. And then we also seek support for the needy girls who wants to progress. Then we also educate teachers, head teachers on girls' education issues. We also create awareness for the importance of girls' education, why girls must go to school. And we also solicit for resources to improve our work in the unit. So I would say basically that is what we do. And we have girls' education officers in all the 216 districts. Okay. And we have girls officers in the 10 regions. And at the headquarters, we play coordinating role. So we don't do girls' education in the office or in the classroom. We do it in the communities, in the schools. Yes.
Okay.
So you not go to, when you come to my office, most of the time we are out on the field.
Okay.
So that's what.
So why don't we get to a community, Lejikuku, and let's find out what the situation is with the girls in the community. What are like the biggest challenges?
Thank you very much. We're looking at poverty. Lejikuku is at the coast. And most of the times, you know, the work there is fishing. So you realize that instead of parents concentrating on making sure the girls go to school, you rather encourage them to be with them at the beaches, helping the mothers to do the arrangements when the fathers come from the sea. So many a times, they look at the child starting school, oh, this girl she has reached a GHS 3, that's okay, she should come and sit down, because we didn't even have the chance to go. So they rather look at it instead of making sure they go high, at a younger level, they expect you to start making babies because your colleagues are doing it. So these are the challenges we have. And also, you look at people are so much concerned with social activities instead of putting their monies into their children's education. Our usual adorings and our funerals, and the concentration is there, and they leave the girls on their own.
So let's look at, I'll come to you, Auntie Catherine. Let's look at, you know, the nation as a whole. I was surprised when you mentioned to me earlier that we don't have a lot more girls in school, because we know that we have a lot of girls around, but we don't have a lot of them in school. despite all the education, despite us setting up a special unit for girls. So why is that?
Yeah, thank you very much. As I said earlier, when you come to the lower levels from kindergarten to primary, we have done well to enroll girls. Even in some schools, you realize that we have more girls than boys. But climbing the ladder, even at the primary level, from class 4, 5, 6, they start dropping. Getting to JHS, they drop. Even the statistics, when you go to the secondary level, you realize that there are more boys than girls, even to the tertiary. So we are not yet there. We are still lagging behind the boys. And this is as a result of what my sister said earlier. Parental irresponsibility, then societal influences, and also our socio-cultural practices is still a big challenge for the unit. You realize in some communities, when I went around, I heard that when you get to the age of 15, 16, you should give birth. And I don't know why.
Yeah, that's it, like a practice.
Yes, it's a practice. If you don't give birth, then it means I don't know.
You are becoming barren.
Yes. So you realize these are some of the challenges. And when children get to that level too, parents feel they should fend for themselves. So these are some of the biggest challenges we have. And the men in the communities are harassing the girls. Some of the men, let me put it that way.
Some of the men. But are we also not educating the girls to know that these offers would come, but it's not the best?
Yeah, you know, we have done a lot of education. We have sensitized the community, even the girls themselves in schools. That is why we have the girls' education officers. They go to the schools to educate them. We have a lot of activities for the girls that will make them to understand why they themselves as girls must be educated and what they should do to progress. But because of these challenges, they find it very, very difficult. Some of the girls are willing, they are very good, they are intelligent, but because of these challenges, they find it difficult to progress.
Auntie Hannah, do we find a lot of girls in your community, for instance, getting themselves pregnant, girls in school?
Actually, it comes every year. Many a times, you see them right after BEC, you know. Some of them think after BEC, they are finished.
That's the end of the road.
That is the end of the world. And then you see a few of them. Then gradually, when it is time for us to enter SHS, the number goes down and down. It's been happening every year. And that is what is actually breaking our hearts, because you know, like GS have put structures in. We have girls' education clubs, which they are taking part, and the idea is to encourage them, to give them that empowerment to be able to stand. But then at a point in time, in our sector, you know, if you have a boy and a girl, and you have the opportunity to take one of them to school, you consider the boys. That is what we normally do.
I thought we had moved on from that. I mean, I thought we were doing...
It is there. It is there. They tell you that. So a few of the girls, like Mommy said, are rising up. When they start, it's like a whole, all of them are going. But gradually, these challenges drop them down one after the other. So you get to the JHS and it's going down, and SHS, the number is very small.
So we're saying that sometimes the parents are willing.
Yes.
But because of poverty, they are made to choose between either keeping the boy in school or keeping the girl in school, and most of them will go with the boy. But why not the girl?
That is a notion that we are hoping that it will change. It is changing in some sectors though, because some actually give birth and they don't even have boys, they have girls. And they've realized that the girls are even doing well, they are doing better. So it's changing, but change is not easy. Change doesn't come easy. We are also looking at the situation whereby you realize that girls are moving, but then little things that they face in life put them back. Oh, I think I have done enough. After this, I can go into trade, I can do this. So if the society realize that any opportunity given to boys, equal should be given to girls, my sister will get there. But we are not there yet. We are not there yet. We are still put with some challenges. Yeah.
I'm just wondering, and Auntie Catherine, is it because we don't have enough role models for them?
Yes.
Is it that they don't know what is on the other side, what a girl can grow up and become?
Yes, exactly so. in most of our communities, they don't have the role models. I traveled about 2 weeks ago. I went to a district, and it was very difficult to identify one female teacher in that community. And you know, at the school level, we have school-based facilitators who also help us in promoting girls' education. In almost all the schools in that district, the school-based facilitators are men. And like, I was wondering, I asked the director, what is the problem? I said, Madam, I don't have female teachers. So it is also another big challenge for us. So I just want to also appeal to all of us that when we come to the big cities and we make it, we should go back and tell our girls that, yes, I'm also from this community, but I've been able to make it through education, so that they will understand that they can change their lives through education.
Amazing.
Yeah, to add to what Mommy said, role model is another important area. But then you realize that we are enjoying life in Accra. We've left them in the communities, the villages. And then they are not seeing anybody to look up to. Not at all. There's, as part of our activities, we have role model outreach, where we identify a role model from a community, bring the person to talk to them. Some of them, they are like, oh, how is that person able to make it? But you go to some communities, and even letting people come out is even a problem. Some, I don't know, for fear of maybe, you know, these are African beliefs. People know I'm there and I may die, so they hide. But we need them.
Because, you know, going back to the communities, that's a very big challenge for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because then it means, oh, they're all seeing now that I'm successful. And it's either they will come asking for things.
That is a notion.
Or, you know, they will do things against me. So I will fail. I don't know why we still have that kind of mindsets. But if just telling our stories to these young girls would encourage them, and it would give them that opportunity at least to make a choice, then I think it's something that we should be doing.
It is.
I don't know from what other level you want to take it.
You know, as you said, we must all get back to our villages. For instance, for me, when I go home and there's funeral, I use the opportunity to educate my family members. If you all accept that education can break the poverty cycle, not only for girls, even for the boys.
Yes.
Because our unit, we are also concerned about the boys. If I am well educated and I want to marry, I will marry somebody of my level. I will not marry somebody below my level. So we educate both the boys and the girls. And this role model outreach is very, very dear to our heart. Because when we all leave the village and we stay in the cities, I don't think we'll bring about change. Because I always say that most people, when they die, they say they should be sent home for burial. And who will be at home to prepare the place for you? So it is up to all of us to understand, once you are educated, you must understand that your education must bring about change in your community. You don't have to stay in the big cities and be enjoying. Forgetting about the up-and-coming youth. We need to go home and educate our youth. Because for me, I believe when you are doing any good thing, nobody will kill you. If somebody even plans any evil thing against you, I think the good Lord will protect you. So we must get back, so that this will also help our youth to remain in the communities, learn and become responsible adults. You see most of them in Accra suffering. They think when you are in Accra or you are in a big city, it is rosy there. But they come and they see that it is not so. So but when they are able to educate and we develop our communities, they can also remain there and do something better. And the objective of girls' education is for the girls to be educated, empowered, and be able to develop the society.
Let me be a bit critical here.
Okay.
Some of us grew up in these same communities, yet somehow we made the right choices. What's different now? I mean, why do we have to be very careful in sending a specific message to them, get role models to go and show them before they realize that this is not all the life?
I really like this kind of question, because you are talking about days where you go to a community, you can even meet just one television set, where people were there. You see somebody's child doing something, you could just tell that, stop what you are doing. But now society has grown to the level that people now think what they see, even on the screens, some of them are real, and they are practicing. And then you cannot even talk to your own sister's son or your own sister's child. Gone were the days where you have extended family. When you are not there, somebody takes care of your child. It's not there anymore. You talk so much about a child, and it's like, why do you hate my child so much? So it looks like we have to go back to the days that we belong to one another.
But I thought that this kind of bonding, I mean, this kind of system you're describing still exists.
Not like before.
In the communities.
Not like before. Not like before, where initially everybody knows everybody. People are even living the next door. You don't even know people in those houses. And then instead of we tackling the whole thing as society, we leave it to the education people to handle it. This is everybody's work. Churches have to be involved. Religious leaders have to be involved. Churches, you go to festival, like Homo Festival. Recently I saw on the telly, and I was so glad when one lady just picked one of the festival and was educating the girls. The festival is not about just celebrating and that is all, but you have to every year learn something that will affect the society positively. So we need everybody on board, from our homes to the communities to the schools to the church and the assemblies. All of us have to be on board, because the angle we are looking at it is, oh, this is for education. This is about life of our girls. And like Mommy said, now the boys are involved, because you leave the boys far before you realize the boys will have bigger problems. So even in our clubs, we encourage the boys to be part. So this is not for education unit alone. It's like you are doing now. It's a privilege for us to let people know what is going on. The bigger picture is that we have left something good. Yes, Uncle Fa, we should go back. Show love, and then also care for one another. That when I see this girl working in the community and I don't care, the future of the girl will one day affect me.
Let's talk about what these boys, or who, you know, either the boys or the men who are getting these girls pregnant, who are they?
They are brothers and our uncles
And cousins.
You see, it's very pathetic that this pregnancy issue, it has saddened some of us. You see men, boys impregnating these girls, ruining their lives. But when it comes to solving the problem, we are always, all of us will be concentrating on the girls. That you are a bad girl, you don't sleep, you don't do that, you don't stay at home. But those who impregnate them, we don't talk about it. And these are the circle in which we are all rotating. Because these girls, they have parents, they also come from a family, and they have potentials. But when you destroy it at this early age, you realize that you will destroy the entire life of that child. And so we have laws in these countries, but I'm sorry to say that it seems our laws are not working. I'm saying this because at times when these things come to our notice and then you take up the issue, you don't get anywhere. I personally took up an issue, and even the policeman told me, Madam, this thing, you realize that it will not work, because one, sometimes even the parents are afraid to come up. And the men, when it happens, some of them will refuse the pregnancy entirely, and some of them will run away. So what do? The girl is left alone to suffer. That is why I'm saying that when these things happen, parents, the society, the community members, they must be alert to arrest, let me put it that way, arrest the person who is responsible. Because when you, one girl cannot sleep and become pregnant. When you make a girl pregnant, you must be made, nobody should even tell you, you should be responsible for the pregnancy. Because this is a great challenge for us. And we at the unit, we've done a lot since 1997 to prevent girls from getting pregnant, and they are getting pregnant.
Maybe your strategy is not working.
It is. We are doing well, my sister. We are doing well. So because of that, we are even saying that if the girl is pregnant and is healthy, she must be in school.
Yes.
She must go to school. Pregnancy is not a disease. It's only that they are not doing it at the right time. So they should be in school and learn and complete their education. I know most prominent women also had teenage pregnancy during their days, but they are somewhere today. So pregnancy should not be a determinant that will make your life miserable. Maybe and the men, we have to look at the men who are impregnating these girls.
But what happens to if it's a young boy who is also in school?
Yes, the parents of that boy must be responsible for the pregnant girl because the boy is not working. So it is the responsibility of the parents of the boy who should take up their responsibility. We are not saying that they should marry, but they must look after the girl, deliver, take responsibility of the child so that the girl gets back to school.
I don't know if you would agree to this. Some people have said that if you get a girl pregnant and she has to be out of school, the boy must also be out of school.
That will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because two wrongs don't make a right. That is one important thing. And this, we are not looking at the two, but we are looking at the life of the child. If they all drop out and where they will have to go, they don't get there, this is a child who is going to suffer. Like Mommy said, you realize that society is not helping us when these pregnancy issues come. Because sometimes they stigmatize the girls. When the girl says that even there's this man who is making advances as me, oh, you are a bad girl. And many a times too, when the issues come, parents go behind and collect monies. We were handling one recently when this girl came up and told us this was the issue. At a point in time, the girl said, nothing has happened again. Then we said, what are you talking about? Not knowing the boy's parents went and met with the girl's parents and they settled everything. So the policeman, like Mommy said, just told us that, Ibo, you are worrying yourself. They have gone to finish talking and we are here talking. You see, so it is about time they know that it is not the child, even the girl alone, the life of the baby. That is what we have to look at. So then, who are the street children? Streets don't give birth to children. But then when we society don't support these girls, some of them, for fear that people will laugh at them, they leave the community. Recently, we saw one near our office. This girl come to sleep and wakes up in the morning with this baby, about 3-4 months old baby. We got to her, we wanted to, the next day we got there, she wasn't there again. Then you ask yourself, who made her pregnant? You see, so society is about time society sits and know that the way the boy was brought into the world, the same way the girl was brought into the world. And we have to show love to them. Let them feel secured. So that when a girl goes into such a situation, we shouldn't leave them alone. We shouldn't leave them alone. Because it's like always we feel the girls are guilty. And now that is where the abortion too is coming in. If I am pregnant and they'll criticize, why don't I abort? And it's not helping us at all.
How young are they getting themselves pregnant? By what age?
Before I come to that, the Ghana Education Service and the Girls Education Unit, for that matter, we have started a program. I think in February, March, we went to all the regions and we selected districts with the highest rate of pregnancy. We had a consultative meeting with all the stakeholders, which was supported by UNICEF. We have put down together the reports for another step to be taken. We want a concrete policy in Ghana with regards to schoolgirls' pregnancy. And I'm praying and I hope when this comes into fruition, that we will see our level. And even when you have in mind to impregnate a girl, I think you think twice.
What are some? I know that you can't give me a lot of details, but what are some of the highlights of this policy that you're thinking, should come into operation?
One, you see, when the girls get pregnant, some of the teachers also harass them. Some of the headmasters, especially in the second cycle school, you don't want them to come back to school. And looking at all these things, we realize it's not the best. So there should be a concrete policy with regards to pregnancy of girls in school. Yeah.
Because you want to protect the girls' education.
The girls' education. Yeah, that is the important thing, that when you educate the girls, you empower them in so many ways. So that's what we have started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that this will come when?
Well, it all depends. Funding is a problem. So it is UNICEF which is supporting this program. And since we have sent the report to them, we are yet to get a feedback from them. Yeah.
So, I mean, if you say to them, who exactly are we talking about?
I'm saying we are waiting for the UNICEF to give us a feedback and then see the way forward.
Okay, because you're relying on them to fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, the unit, we rely on so many sources for funding. The government alone cannot face this burden of girls' education. When you come and you see the activities we do, it involves a lot. So Ghana government alone cannot support it. So we have a lot of donors and partners who support the unit.
But that's still not enough, is it?
These days it is getting down because they feel they have spent a lot on girls' education, and we should be there by this time, and we are not yet there.
Why are we not there yet? I mean, because I remember that campaign, Send Your Girl Child to School, and at a point people said, you are talking about girls so much so that, you know, it looks like we're abandoning the boys. The concentration is all on girls. We've concentrated on girls for such a long time, and we're still not there.
You know, if you spend money or resources on girls' education, I think that nation will be the best country. So it is good that we concentrate on them. And this girls' issue is not a one-day affair. Whilst we give birth to more girls, we will continue to have challenges. So it should be a continuous process, not from 1 to B, then we end it there. It should be a continuous process. You see, my sister, if the girl is not educated and she gives birth, you see that the problem will continue. So when we try to end it, we will have progress in girls' life. So we need to continue. It's not that because we have sang the song, Send Your Girl Child to School. These days we don't sing it. We don't sing
because
it anymore.
we you know, I thought that everybody got it. That was
that was the notion, but we are not yet there. And I think the media people, especially the females in the media circle, should also support us. You should support us in this way so that girls themselves will see the need to be educated.
Okay, so please answer my question in terms of how young are they getting themselves pregnant?
You will be surprised that at times they will say, oh, a class 3 girl is pregnant. And you'll be shouting, hey, class 3? Yes, it's in class 3. Because that girl has not gone to school at the right age. You know, even our Education Act and the Constitution says that every child must go to school at age 4. So if the girl goes to school at age 4, you realize that by the time she gets to JHS 3, she's about 13, 14, and will be heading towards SHS. So getting to SHS, she has that exposure that will let her know the wrong from the right. That, oh, where I've reached, I need to go higher, I should avoid this, I should avoid that. But because the girls are not going to school at the right age, some girls come to kindergarten at age 10, age 11, she has started menstruating. Definitely she will get pregnant when she gets to class 1 or class 2. And because most of the people are outside, they think, oh, maybe she went there at the right age. If you start school at class age 4 and you get to class 3, you should be around 7 or 8 years. So you will be thinking, oh, it is an
8-year-old who is pregnant.
But the girl is old for that class.
She just went to school late.
Yes, very late. So if we make it a point that all children should go to school at the right age, I think we will also try to avoid this pregnancy in schools. So they get pregnant as young as 10, 11, 12. And you know, these days, our system is changing. I don't know. You'll be surprised that 10, 11-year-olds are menstruating. And it is normal. And it is up to the parents, when you get to know that your child is menstruating, you give her the proper education. These days, most parents don't have time for their children. That is also another challenge.
Okay, so in wrapping up, I know that you have something at Legon. Maybe we should come back after your Legon.
Yes.
But what's happening from tomorrow?
You know, every year, we started this thing about 3 or 4 years ago. We bring all the district girls education officers, the 216 girls officers and the 10 regional girls officers together to assess the work we've done the previous year Then also look at our strengths and weaknesses and also strategize for the ensuing year. That is what will happen in Legon from tomorrow, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll be having annual general meeting for girls education officers.
We're taking stock.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are invited.
Maybe I'll pass through for the way forward.
Yes.
Yeah, the way forward from that conference.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you for your time, really. Really thank you.
We're also glad to be here.
Yeah, we are most grateful. And I also wish that you invite us from time to time to come and educate the public. Then you also use your medium, at least if 2 minutes every day to talk about girls' education, it will help the youth.
I will.
Because you are a model, you know.
I've learned
You
my
are a
lesson.
You are a model.
I've learned my lesson. And I'm from Angloga. I know that, you know, my folks back watch me a lot. So
Yeah.
I owe it to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And once
I
a
do.
while, go to Angloga and talk to the young girls. We can arrange. Move to Angloga, talk
Okay.
to the girls.
Okay.
Remember, we've started the
Sure.
application.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
you.
Mrs. Catherine Nutuja Mikado is Director in charge of Girls Education Unit with the Ghana Education Service. Also, Reverend Mrs. Hannah Ojei Maboche, Girls Education Coordinator, Lojokuku Krowo Municipality here in Accra. Hopefully, parents watching us right now who have listened through the conversation, this will change your mind. And for all of us, fortunately successful young women and girls out there, can we please return back to those communities and let's pass on at least to the young ones in those communities? It will make a lot of difference. Maybe old associations, girls who form associations, old schools, and things like that. Let's use the WhatsApp and let's get some conversations going so that we can return back to our schools.